Professional life today feels like a constant struggle against siloed PDFs, scattered meeting transcripts, and dense data reports. You're expected to synthesize all of it perfectly, and usually on a tight deadline. Uploading sensitive documents to a standard open web AI, like ChatGPT, creates a liability. These models are built to be creative. Hitting a knowledge gap, they frequently invent facts. In a professional setting, a single hallucination in a board deck can derail months of work. Google built NotebookLM to solve that specific problem. It operates as a closed universe. It doesn't scrape the internet for answers. It only knows the documents you choose to upload. The core trade-off: open web AI offers broad creativity with high risk. NotebookLM provides a source-grounded environment where every claim links directly to your uploaded source. But accuracy requires absolute isolation. Rigid caps, no cross-communication. A sealed box. We're putting this tool through 4 professional stress tests: research, sales, operations, and communications. We need to see exactly where this isolation accelerates your work and exactly where it breaks your workflow. Accuracy and scale are often at odds. By the end of this evaluation, you'll know if this trade-off is worth the friction in your daily routine. Let's look at research and analysis. Consider the workflow of an analyst managing a dozen competitive white papers and 50-page legal contracts. You upload those specific, dense documents into a single, isolated notebook. Within seconds, you generate chronological timelines, feature comparison tables, or spot anomalies across different contracts, all with clickable citations for verification. This chart maps where the tool actually functions. We have source volume on the bottom and required accuracy on the side. The primary constraint here is the 50 source cap for each notebook. This plots NotebookLM securely in the top left quadrant. Low volume, but very high accuracy. It's built for deep analysis of a narrow set of files. If your project requires massive volume, you would look toward tools like Zotero or Atlas in the top right. If you're an academic with a 300-paper thesis, that 50 source limit becomes a wall. It forces you to create artificial silos, separating related research that actually needs to be analyzed together. Now, look at business development and sales teams, who often respond to complex RFPs under extreme time pressure. A sales rep feeds an active client RFP into the notebook alongside the company's past successful proposals and technical specs. The rep can query the notebook live during a client call to pull technical answers instantly or generate fully cited executive summaries tailored to the client's specific requirements. But for high-velocity teams, this flowchart reveals a glaring red bottleneck. The lack of an API or integration ecosystem means you cannot automate the handoff. You can't pipe these insights directly into proposal software or CRMs like Salesforce. The data stays locked inside the notebook until you manually move it. NotebookLM is a brilliant isolated analyst for a single deal, but as a pipeline manager, it's inefficient. It demands manual labor to move information out. Let's shift our focus to operations and HR. These teams manage employee handbooks, scattered SOPs, and stacks of resumes. You upload these operational documents into a centralized notebook. Using a super prompt, a highly structured set of instructions, HR can force the AI to rank candidate resumes against a specific job description, or generate a study guide for a complex manual. When we plot this on an effort versus impact matrix, we see the enterprise limitation. The collaboration features are basic. It essentially functions like a standard Word document. Creating training docs is high impact and low effort. It's excellent for the person drafting the content, but it fails as a host for a global internet. Because it lacks dynamic, permission-based controls, using it to manage company-wide documentation becomes a high-effort task. Finally, look at content and communication professionals trying to extract value from raw, messy meeting transcripts. You drop those raw transcripts directly into a fresh notebook. A structured super prompt, defining persona, format, and constraint, allows the AI to find implicit commitments and action items that human note-takers often miss during the meeting. The platform can also turn dry company announcements into a 10-minute audio overview podcast featuring 2 AI hosts who synthesize the material. However, there's a vulnerability. The quality of the audio overview drops if the original transcript lacks clear speaker labels or is disorganized. The AI can only summarize what it can clearly parse. Producing boardroom-ready outputs, whether it's an action plan or a podcast, requires significant upfront time to build and refine those specific super prompts. The platform doesn't automate the thinking for you. Your results are strictly limited by two factors: the cleanliness of your source material and the technical precision of your instructions. Moving past the hype, let's look at who this tool is actually built for. NotebookLM is not a general-purpose assistant, nor is it a scalable enterprise database. This scorecard breaks down the viability test. On the left, the ideal user executing bounded sprints, PMs synthesizing meetings, sales working single RFPs, or analysts digesting quarterly reports. On the right, the wrong fit, academics managing massive theses, architects requiring APIs, or leaders building wikis. But remember, those strict borders that ensure accuracy will actively strangle any process that requires interconnected, company-wide scale. If your work requires scale, look to alternative platforms like Atlas, Obsidian, or enterprise-specific copilots instead. The most effective AI tool isn't the one with the most hype. It's the specific hammer that respects the actual constraints of your daily work.